7:01 straight up Saturday, excuse me. 7 o'clock straight up Tuesday, July 25th. I'm Dave Globin. You're not Boogie with the Bowl. Uncensored is live on the Dave Globin profile over on Facebook. The Boogie with the Bowl True Patriot Talk public group over on Facebook. My mouth is just not working this morning. Over on Facebook. And if you go over to YouTube, we're on the Boogie with the Bowl channel over there. My mouth is getting in the way of my tongue, or my tongue is getting in the way of my teeth. I don't really know, but I'm trying to do the best that I can. Anyway, if you want to join the broadcast, the link is right there on your screen. All you gotta do is type that into your browser and it will bring you over. If you have never been a guest on a StreamYard broadcast before, it'll walk you through. It takes about maybe 2 minutes tops, and it will help you set up your camera and your mic and make sure you're all set to come on. And if you're a StreamYard expert, then it will just bring you right in to the studio, and we will go from there. Facebook user says, hey Dave, the only problem with when it says Facebook users, I can't tell who you are. So my suggestion is to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and hold on. Let me just check something out here. The link. Let me get out of here and get to where I need to get to for a second and look something up. Okay, wait a minute. That's the link that I posted. The link to come to StreamYard. There it is. Hold on just a second. There he is. Jerry Michaels is with us. The link to get to the broadcast is in the Boogie broadcast links group, and I invited a bunch of people that I thought were might drop by tonight. So if you did not get there and you want to drop by the broadcast, the link is on the bottom of the screen, and you can join us at any time. Larry Burns is the Facebook user. And good evening, Larry. That means they're watching us up in Canada. Pretty scary. We're international tonight, Jerry.
Well, that's our Larry. How you doing, Larry? Yep. Good to see you.
Yep. And let me just get back into here for a second.
It's Larry Burns, the Facebook user. You need to get the monkey off your back. There, Larry, stop being a user of Facebook. It's no good. It's like drugs, really.
Is Facebook considered a drug?
It must be, because I noticed that when I'm not on Facebook, I feel a lot better. But
yeah. So, what is happening in southern and central Florida tonight?
Not a lot. Actually, I have no idea. I read a little bit of the news that annoyed me, so I stopped.
Yeah.
That guy from the I can't. Why can't I remember this guy's name? He's the one who finds all these kids that are missing from the movie.
Okay. Yep.
And what the hell's this? Anyway, he's punching back at the media over, their garbage of it's all conspiracy theory and blah, blah, blah. When in reality, I mean, we have, I believe the number is 750,000 people a year go missing in this country. Many of them are children. Some of them come to bad ends, but a lot of them are kidnapped and taken for bad reasons. We'll just say,
Yep.
well, any reason kidnap
Yep.
anybody is a bad reason. Really bad reasons, I guess you'd say. I don't.
I read something
But
that traced or said that they traced some of it back to the Clintons. Something, I think it said ASFC 97, and it traced, I guess, money from the Clintons uh, going into the foster care system, and kids that were brought up from other countries went into the foster care system and then disappeared and never were heard from again. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if it's
Well, our foster care system. Let me tell you a short story about our foster care system. This happened probably 13, 14 years ago, but this lady I know owned her own real estate company. I would say upper middle class. Very nice, tough lady. Had a husband that could probably strangle you if you touched anybody in his family. So a decent family. So they took possession of this child because the mother and father were both crack addicts. The father was in jail. The mother was in jail. And they had the child for about a month. And the kid was, it was a baby. So luckily, probably doesn't know what's going on too much, but was relatively happy and everything in their house. The judge gave it back to the mother after 30 days. Because she stopped crack for 30 days. And I'm here to tell you, you don't stop crack for 30 days and then stop forever, 9 times out of 10. Okay, it doesn't happen. All right, you need to be off the crack for a year or two before you can actually feel like maybe you can do this. I'm telling you, I know this. I've seen it way too many times. But yeah, that's our foster care system. We give it right back to the mother, who is not even got all the crap out of her system yet.
Yep.
And the part that's the worst with crack is in your head. You just have to keep having it. And I don't know whatever happened to the kid, but because I shortly after all that, I actually moved to Vero Beach. But yeah. Our foster care system is in shambles. Children and Family Services, they're taking children that they shouldn't be taking. They're not giving kids back. There are multiple problems that nobody is addressing at all, and it's sad.
Very, very sad. I read also that I guess the Biden asylum policy got a setback from a judge who basically said I forget exactly what the grounds of the decision were, but it appears that the judge seems to think that there's been a slowdown of people coming over the border anyway from Mexico. I don't know if I believe that or not, but and I also read that Kevin McCarthy has said that he might launch a Joe Biden impeachment. That I don't know if I was supposed to laugh when I read that or not.
No, I don't know how that isn't automatic. How is that not automatic? I mean, why does he even have to say he might? Yeah, we're going to do it. I mean, the guy's a criminal. Okay, I mean, it's proven fact that he's a criminal. Okay, a real one, and with real evidence, not like with Donald Trump, where they were making crap up as they go. And well, we all know how that worked.
Well, the stuff with Biden you can't make up.
No, I'm not sure. I don't think Biden really knows exactly what's going on around him, to be truthful. And I would feel bad for him with his mental, incapacity, if he wasn't such a corrupted piece of garbage, basically his entire adult life. Okay,
Yep.
if he was even a little good, I would feel bad for him, but I really don't. And what his wife is doing to him, so she can perch up there as the first lady, is if there's a hell, they're both going to it. That's all I can tell you, because there's no way she should have let him run for president.
Yeah. And then you also read every day that I guess the Democrats are even saying they might run. Michelle Obama, but they have to buy a vice president because they don't know. They don't seem to know who will volunteer to be the vice president.
Well, to be truthful, I don't see anyone on the Democratic side that should be president of the United States. Unfortunately, there's a good chance one of them will be. And I suspect if he doesn't die, outright, it may be Biden. I don't know. We'll find out probably 1:30 in the morning on whoever's beating Biden. And then we'll find out the following day they lost in a landslide. Biden got more votes than he did the last time without campaigning and without debates, because apparently the Democrats are not going to have a debate. And they made up all kinds of reasons, but mainly I believe it's because Joe can't string 3 words together without losing his place.
Yep. Larry says he thinks it'll be Kamala Harris to replace Biden, but doesn't know if that's the answer. And for the life of me, I always figured that her job was. They don't. And from what I understood, her job was to get him elected and then use the 25th Amendment to boot him. And I don't know who her vice president would have been, other than guessing that if she became president, Secretary Pete's probably going to become the vice president, because he's probably the only one in the Democrat side that they could make the president when Harris gets impeached.
Well,
but
I know. I understand what Larry's saying, but I here's the deal. We're supposed to be a country of laws and keep society at bay with laws and stuff so that we don't have anarchy. With that said, we should be impeaching Joe Biden and not only throwing him out of office, but trying him and throwing him in prison. And then we allow Kamala Harris to come in. And I don't know. I understand why no one wants Kamala Harris as the president of the United States or the vice president or the White House janitor. I understand that. We're a country of laws. We're supposed to do things a certain way. We obviously don't anymore. But if it was all things considered, that's exactly what would happen. And then when, Kamala does something stupid, I guess get rid of her. But we are so weakened by this president here, by not him, and his handlers. I can't imagine. First of all, if it's that easy to control Joe Biden, how much easier could it be to control Kamala Harris? That
I'm guessing it can't be hard.
So
because the question I would throw at you is that if Jill Biden is guilty of seriously how she has allowed Joe to be used through this, don't you think that Kamala Harris is probably as guilty, if not more, because she allowed him to be president in this capacity? And if she knew that he wasn't capable of doing the job, that's what she's got the 25th Amendment for.
Well,
I still keep coming back
I
to the
don't
same
think
spot.
that Kamala Harris. I think they probably. First of all, Kamala Harris is the same one who called Joe Biden a rapist
Yep.
during the debates, and then the next thing you know, she's his running mate. That should tell you something right there. No one who calls you a rapist should be your running mate. It's pretty obvious that nobody likes to work for Kamala Harris because she keeps losing people in her own office.
Yep.
Can't the things she says are worse than what Joe Biden is doing because Joe Biden has an excuse for his word salad weird shit. Kamala really doesn't. She's just bad at it. And then I don't think Biden actually or his wife particularly like Kamala Harris. And I think what they're doing, I think they have something on her to keep her at bay. I mean, this is a vice president that they put in charge of the border. Has she ever actually made it down to the border anywhere to actually look at what's happening?
I don't think it was far enough.
Finally.
I don't think it was far enough to see anything, but there's that. There was a press conference, I guess, on one of the bridges, I think in Texas, that crosses over, and she was on the bridge, and no one was there. So, they probably chased everybody away, closed the bridge while she was there. So, and I hope Mayorkas or whatever his last name is. I hope that he is never has got a job in government again. Is about all I can say, because he.
Well, if you want to impeach somebody and throw him out of office, they should start with him.
Yeah.
But once we get rid of one of these morons, everybody will be thrilled and they'll be jumping up and down until they get the next one in there who turns out to be just as bad or worse.
Yep.
Because the next time it will be probably a black lesbian man who identifies as a sparkle pony and, will make us all look stupid, and he'll let even more people in.
Any comments?
Remember when we got Bonner, whatever the hell his name was.
John Bonner. Yeah, John Boehner.
He left. He was. Everybody was thrilled when he left, and we got Paul Ryan, who turned out to be worse because he went through the first year of Trump and didn't do a damn thing anybody needed doing, and he just was a rhino from the get, and. It's just it's like that always. We're always thrilled when somebody we hate goes, but then they put in somebody who's worse. I got to be truthful. I'm not thrilled with Marjorie Taylor Greene at all, but I'd rather see her as Speaker of the House than Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah.
It's just I don't trust anybody in politics anymore. At all since the night of the election. I mean, that truly affected my everything I have ever believed in my life about voting or anything else. I don't know. Anyway, we got if you guys go and give the link, how does that work? You go to the StreamYard and you give permission or something?
You go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. And then about halfway down on the page is a bar that says give permission. You click on that and it will give permission. For some strange reason, it's coming up that way on Facebook over the Facebook link on StreamYard. And I'm wondering if the link is not connected to the Facebook page is like it normally is because, well, no, William Grant is watching, so he's somewhere on Facebook, but I don't understand. I don't know why on the live producer screen everybody's coming up Facebook user. That's not.
Yeah, we don't get that.
That's not.
We come from, okay, but okay. Like I have an American Rebellion page and an American Rebellion group just in case the page gets kicked off. Okay?
Right.
If we also come from a group, the people in the group have to give their permission, or otherwise we get Facebook user.
Right.
But every other page, I come from my page sometimes, or we come from whatever, and it's fine. So I don't understand why that's happening. But then again, I'm probably the last guy to ask too. So
we'll play with it.
Anyway,
we'll play with it and see what happens. I know that the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group is linked to StreamYard, so that. And every once in a while, Facebook bumps that link, so I have to go back and reset it. Yeah. But, William Grant is watching, which means.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just he's watching, and I'm looking on a separate monitor that's monitoring the Facebook live chats. So that's what it is. So if I ask people who are Facebook user. Tell me who you are. Normally, I can see them on the live, in the Facebook live chats, and then if I look on this screen, and then I know who they are. But for some strange reason, Facebook is just being Facebook tonight. So,
as always,
hello, Dave. Hello, Jerry. Okay, yeah. For some strange reason, I can't see who everybody's Facebook user tonight. That's just how it's going to be. Also, I want to send out congratulations to. Okay. I want to send out congratulations to Jesse and Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling mom. Their oldest son, whose name I should know but I don't remember, completed his. Certification in Cisco networking professional, which means that he's a very smart computer guy, and if he was here, he could probably figure this out. So Jen and the family are out celebrating that milestone in someone's life. So congratulations to him. And
that's good.
Very smart. Very smart. But go ahead.
Yeah.
It's Eric Leon Martin is one of them. Yep. Okay. All right. She homeschooled all five of them.
You're not a misfit, Eric.
No, you're not a misfit, Eric.
You're just Eric.
You're one of the best guys.
You're just Eric's the only guy who can go on Facebook, say hello, and get kicked off for 30 days. I swear to God, I never seen anything like it.
The links, wait a minute. Hold on. There is an error here. Well, there's an error on the screen. And it may not, it's not why people are coming in wrong, but the link that is on the screen is not the link that's on the screen is not right.
I am watching. I'm not watching, but I got the show up on my other screen, right?
Yeah.
And I don't. It says there's no comments yet in the live chat.
Yep. Yeah. Which is interesting.
Which is kind of weird.
Yep. Unless, so
it's not.
That tells me, I think the link from StreamYard that sends the comments out to Facebook, which is controlled by Facebook, probably got snapped, and I have to go in and reset that, which is a thing that I will do after this broadcast ends. But Larry is here, and Eric Leon Barton is here, and we can probably play 50 questions and guess who every other Facebook user is. Actually, let me try something. Let me go out of here. and go here. We're live in the group, and let's see if the comments are coming up in the group. No, oh, wait a minute. I got to set this again. Yeah, okay. The comments are not coming to my Dave Woven profile. So everybody who's watching, go to the Boogie with the Bowl Patriot Talk public group and catch us live on the post there, and the comments are coming across there. The link is not getting to Facebook, so that's something that I will fix as soon as
okay.
Yeah. It's a stupid thing I'll fix after we are done this evening. But Larry Burns is here. Eric Leon Barton is here, and anybody who I fixed there was a problem with the link. If you wanted to come on to the broadcast, this is the right link. Whoops, wait a minute. Save that. And if you want to come on to the broadcast and join us, that is the correct link.
All right. Well, there you go.
If anyone wants to come on, I did invite Nicky Young. I don't know if he will come and join us, and let's see. I don't know anybody else. It's open to anybody if you want to come on. And if you don't want to come on, then you can listen to Jerry and I until Jerry goes home and I go to bed.
Yeah, I was, I guess the official Biden family dog has bitten everybody in the White House. Even the dog is trying to get out of there. The dog knows when crazy is. Dogs ain't stupid. They know when crazy is about, and they want to. They don't like the crazy too much.
One of the two German Shepherds got sent home. I think the Secret Service sent him home because he was being aggressive, and he was, I don't know if it was hard bites or hurting bites, but he was biting. Yeah, he was biting them. They told him that dog had to go home.
Well, I got news for you. You got the one in the White House has bitten 11 people. 11. He's bitten somebody 11 times. I don't know who all these people are, but and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is trying to tell everybody that it's because the White House is stressful. He's a dog. His only job in the White House is to just be a dog and hang out and go get petted and stuff. And he wants out. That's what it is. He wants out.
Yeah. He's probably the one who found the bag in the White House anyway. But
he may have been the one doing it. He's desperate.
Trump's not the first president at the White House who didn't have a dog, is he? Has every president had a dog?
I don't know. I'll be truthful. I have no idea. I don't really keep track of that.
Yeah.
Like most of the dogs are I think they pretty much stay around the residence. Probably got somebody, a dog walker. I think the dog is more of a photo op for some of them than it is anything else.
Yeah.
And I guess Trump doesn't want to have a dog. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Trump wouldn't like dogs.
Yep.
That is weird. I don't know if he doesn't like dogs, but I don't know.
What kind of dog
do you think he'd have?
Yeah.
Well, Trump, he'd have a bull mastiff or something. Something that's good size. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It just seems like it.
I don't think I could see him sitting in the Oval Office with the Chihuahua on his lap.
No, I'm not really seeing that at all. No. No. I see him with one of them Himalayan I don't know. I think they like herd yaks, and they're like 12 foot tall and about
Yeah.
500 pounds or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, those bull mastiffs
He
are pretty
rides it
tough.
around the White House.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's actually the biggest dog in the world, not
Yeah.
the tallest.
It's one of them. Yeah.
Weighs like 250 or 300 pounds
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
One of them, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that they cost like $12,000 a piece or more. So that was like, that'd be like a middle drawer desk money right there for Trump. So no problem.
Somebody would probably tell. There'd be a photo op where they donated the dog to the Trump White House because his name would be MAGA or Ultra MAGA or something like that. He'd have that shoulder thing hanging on him. The White House protected by Ultra MAGA.
Say Trump had a dog. Say he just had a Chihuahua, right?
Yeah.
Just say. And it was his dog that was biting everybody in the White House. Could you imagine what the mainstream media, they'd go apocalyptic on this and talk about how the dog is racist, especially if it bit a black guy. It'd be like, oh, the dog is a racist dog. He trained him to do that. Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh,
I think the Bidens adopted.
We're in Carl.
I think they adopted the pair from a I don't want to say pound, but I think they adopted them from something like that. So
could have. I don't know. I have no idea. I know that most presidents have a dog. I think it's more for. I guess they kind of like the dog. I don't know, but it's like I think it's more of a tradition or something. I don't know.
They should send the dog down to the press conference instead of Kareem.
Oh yeah, that's actually an excellent idea, Dave.
The dog would probably tell you more.
Yeah, dogs don't lie.
I couldn't be
dog.
Right. I couldn't be president for that reason, that you have to have this person who comes down and speaks for you. Because I'd just come down and I'd walk in there and I'd just go, what do you want to know? And I would tell, of course, there's classified things you can't tell them, but you're going to tell them anyway. But, because that would be what it would be. It would be somebody down in the Oval Office before I walk in saying, now remember, Dave, you can't talk about this, and you can't talk about that, and you can't talk about this. And I'd walk out here because of the state of my head at any given time of the day. I'd go, they told me to talk about this, and talk about this, and talk about this. There's a clip.
You know what?
Go ahead.
If I'm the president, right? Whatever. Okay, never gonna happen. But if I was, the only thing that would be required is to tell the truth. Because I have to tell you, Trump had what? He had 3 press, whatever the fuck they are. Okay, he had 3 of them, and the first one didn't last very long, but the other 2 did. And they actually told the truth about what was going on. Now, they stretched the truth and they tried to make Trump look better, and I get all that. But for the most part, they told the truth. As opposed to, say, Obama's press secretaries and Biden's press secretaries, who literally do nothing but lie or ignore questions or all this. So I would want the ones to tell the truth. I would also want that if we screwed up as an administration somehow, that I would be the one to do the press conference and say, listen, we screwed up and this ain't going to work and we're going to stop it or something. And take the hit on that because you're the one who made the decision. I don't believe in this whole thing, let's cover up for the president and make him look good and then all this like they did with Obama and Obamacare and that kind of thing. It's like, no, the president, if the buck stops here, that means the president walks out there and says, listen, I screwed up. We can't have this and we're not going to do it. That kind of thing. And That would force people like the White House. That would force the White House to throw some common sense and have that involved with every decision. Okay, because you don't want to walk out there every other day and say, "Well, we're sorry, we screwed up." You want to
Right.
use some common sense on stuff, and I'm not sure that's possible in Washington D.C. So I don't know,
Is his
because
name
there's
John
always
Kirby?
somebody telling you who's that.
Is his name John Kirby, the guy that either backs up Kareem, or is he the? I thought he was actually the State Department spokesman, but there's a
I don't know.
reel that's running on Facebook, and he's in his suit and he's standing at the podium. Somebody asks him a question, and he just does the eye roll that makes you think his head just exploded, and you hear her off camera saying, "Get out of there," and he closes the binder and he walks away. And I wish I could find the whole video of the whole press conference, because I've never seen him in all the time that he's been either the deputy press secretary or whatever press secretary he is up there actually look like a question bothered him. But I have watched this one just about every day now. It's only like a 30-second reel, and it just cracks me up.
I am proud to say that I have never one time watched a press conference or watched Dave Biden's speech.
Yeah.
I like my TV. I enjoy it, and I want to continue to have it. I see no reason that I should watch any of this and like throw something heavy through it, because I'm sorry, I cannot listen to these people lie to my face with a straight face or a smile, depending.
Yep.
I cannot stand when the president of the United States is looking down his nose at me, literally in his head, ready to fight me, which is wow. So I've never watched either one of them. I didn't watch the State of the Union. Now, when Trump was in office, I didn't watch a ton of press conferences, but I did watch them from time to time. But I watched all the State of the Unions. I watched, if Trump was doing some kind of rally, I'd usually watch it or watch part of it, or I'd watch it when it was over on YouTube or something. Okay, and so forth. And why? Because he was a guy that was out there, and I felt like he didn't want to fight me, and he wanted to try to do some good for the country the best he could by himself, and make good on the promises he made. And he made good on a lot of the promises. Unfortunately, he had no chance of draining the swamp. I think he has a much better chance of draining the swamp this time, simply because he knows everybody now, and he knows what their skullduggery is, and maybe he can do something this time. I don't know. I don't know if one man can fix all this. I really don't.
Yeah.
But if there's anybody out there that can, it's Donald J. Trump.
Yeah. Changing the subject just a second, because I'm sure you don't want to talk about it very long. Nobody seems to want to. But the guy they found swimming outside of Barack Obama's house, did you hear about it? Evidently, he was the Obama's cook. I don't know if he was the cook or chef at the home on Martha's Vineyard, but he was there. Evidently, the Obamas were not, and then they found him floating in a pond that is used for small boating. Oh yeah, and there hasn't been any comment from the Obamas yet. There hasn't been any comment from Hillary Clinton's people yet. But no one is talking about what may or may not have been going down yet, and I haven't found anything. But everybody seems to be talking about this guy who just passed away up there.
Huh. Oh, you know what? I heard one thing and I kind of ignored it, that there was a dead body found around the Obama's place. I was like,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Talked to Obama.
Yeah.
But I didn't read the story or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything about it since.
I
evidently just figured some poor guy saw that Michael was a man or something and just dropped dead. I don't know, but
yeah.
You know, it's like with Pelosi's. Obviously, Paul is gay or at least bisexual. It's a marriage of convenience or something, and Nancy doesn't really like him because she's never there. And Paul is that whole thing with that psycho guy. I don't believe that guy's near as psycho as everybody has made him out to be. I believe he was there, and was trying to shake down Paul or something. I don't know, but he was up to no good, probably. But the main thing is Nancy Pelosi is married to a gay guy. Okay, it's plain simple. Nobody, but you don't hear about that at all. That was Trump. Oh my God.
Yeah, supposedly the mics caught that guy after either he broke in or Paul broke the glass from the inside and let him in. The guy was asking where Nancy is, and that always made me wonder if it was somebody, if maybe it was a hit on someone that went terribly bad, and was Paul involved in it, or was Nancy involved in it?
I think what it was is that's a natural question to ask when you're a gay guy going to a married guy's house to have sex with them.
Yeah.
Where is your wife? And seeing how it's Nancy Pelosi, who is quite famous even now that we don't have to listen to her anymore. That would be a natural question to ask. Where is Nancy? Because I'm guessing that Nancy knows that her husband is gay, and my guess is that she just wants it kept discreet, which obviously did not happen. So I can't imagine the amount of liquor that Nancy drank for that week, and while she was in the middle of screaming at Paul for being a dumbass. I don't know any of this to be true, but it just seems to me that nothing good happened for Paul that week.
Yeah.
And she managed to get it all swept up under the rug to where all of a sudden we don't hear a thing, except that this guy has been convicted. It reminds me of the guy who got convicted for making a movie that caused Benghazi. My guess, that guy didn't do really a damn thing wrong. He was the
fall guy.
The fall guy. Exactly, fall guy.
Yeah.
Now this guy didn't seem like he was completely wrapped tight or anything. He may have had a screw or two fall out of his neck, but and we got to take that into account. But I don't think it's near as bad what they're saying about him as he actually is. But he's in prison, so nobody cares, and now it's over. Yeah. It's like everything else. Any scandal within a week, the press covers it up and stops talking about it, and it never happened. That's how Obama gets to come out and say, I've never had a scandal during my freaking administration. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where he was, but we saw a few or 20. I don't know.
If there is an impeachment, Biden would have the right as president to be in there and testify for himself and this and that and the other thing. But do you think they would let him? Because they're not going to be able to trust him with anything that he's going to say, and he's already got enough evidence against him that like you said, he might as well just plead guilty and go get padlocked in the Delaware dungeon with his green screen and I mean, I don't know. We won't see him again. Where he goes, we won't know, and probably don't want to know where he's going to end up anyway.
If you remember correctly, and you would, Reagan had Alzheimer's while in office. Yep. It started while he was in office, and nobody. No, I mean, it wasn't as bad as Biden is now. No, but Nancy kept that stuff. And then all of a sudden, they're out of office like a year or two, and you find out he's got Alzheimer's and don't remember who anybody is.
She said that it would be her job, and I even think at one point she said it was her dying wish that no one would see Ronnie on a bad day. She just absolutely wanted people to remember him from Hollywood and the maybe 6 good years that he had as president and all that. And I understand that. My grandmother had passed away from it, and she put in her will that she wanted a closed casket. She didn't want anybody to see her. She wanted, and she wasn't being rude, she just wanted people to remember a happy time of, when they saw her. And she was always bubbling. So, same kind of thing. Me, you're not going to see my face anyway. My pants are going to be down to the big red X.
Well, she was fiercely loyal to him. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
She was a bitch, but she was fiercely loyal to Ronnie, and that's probably why. How you doing there, Nick?
Hey, Nick is in the house.
I'm doing good. The kid, stepson, whatever his name is, and grandkids are all gone now. We had all that.
Did you have a nice visit with them?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. And I don't know if you were watching from the beginning. Jen's not with us tonight because her oldest son, whose name escapes me, took his test today and is now a certified Cisco network professional.
Well, there you go.
I was going to call him Dr. Microsoft because that was probably the easiest thing to do, but I'm going to have her send me his business card because there's always questions to ask somebody like that.
That's worth a good chunk of the CCSP is what they call it. That's a lucrative job there. That's pretty good. And Microsoft certifications are kind of useless these days.
Yeah.
But you get a Cisco certification. Yeah, you can get a job pretty easily these days.
So what else?
AI.
I'll
be right back. I gotta. Okay. I'll be right back. I can get more coffee. Okay, son. I gotta keep up.
See.
Yeah. So when Biden's Corvette comes up to raise his bail money, are you gonna buy it?
No.
No. I would guess that by the time they take it apart, actually, now I hear they're questioning where the money came from. Because the story I heard is that his father was a used car dealer, and when he married Jill, that was the wedding present from his father. But now I hear they're questioning. No, that money might have come from someplace else, and
nobody knows where their money's coming from. That's the big problem. And now we got this Devin Archer.
Yeah,
was supposed to testify today, but they moved it to Monday.
He's for lack of putting it better, I think he's going to be Hillary before he gets to
Arkansas.
Yeah. Okay, that's probably a more polite way of saying it, because and he didn't really look, the last picture I saw of him, he really didn't look like too smart of a guy who probably had a good time making all the money, but the FBI probably came to him and said, this is what happens to people who lie to us. And he probably said, oh my God, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, well, he worked for Burisma. He was a business partner with Hunter.
Yeah.
So he's willing to, I guess, maybe spill the beans if he shows up. If, there's a big if. If is a big word.
Yeah.
But then Kevin McCarthy finally comes out today and says, yeah, we're seriously looking at impeachment charges on Joe Biden. Well, we'll see where that, not that it's going to go anywhere, because they probably won't have the votes because of the rhinos in the House as well. And that it's not going to go through the Senate.
No, it won't go through the Senate. No. Although, I wish I could see it.
Get it on record of all of the Democrats in the House who vote no to impeach.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen. Vote the no. Take record of the no votes of the Democrats and the rhino Republicans. And then they have to live with that for quite some time.
Yeah, because I've said to other people, if you look at the impeachment on the violations of law, tax law, criminal law, and you're a representative or a senator, you have to vote to, like Johnny Cochran said, if the shoe fits, you must acquit. I mean, if the shoe doesn't fit, you must acquit. If you look at it as like being a nation of laws, as Jerry said.
That was a glove.
That's a glove. I know, but whatever.
Close enough.
Yeah, but well, I claim it up here. But if you look at the laws, I mean, if you're a lawyer and if you're a Republican and you're a lawyer and you're sitting next to a Democrat who's a lawyer, it shouldn't matter what party you are. It should be these laws. You both have to agree that the evidence shows beyond the reasonable doubt, even how both sides collected the evidence, it shows the same thing. You have to impeach the guy. And I'm not saying that, you throw him in jail for the rest of his life, because if it's true and he doesn't know who he is and he doesn't know what he's doing, you can't put him in jail. But I mean, you got to
want to do that to Trump.
Yeah, and then that's the other question I had. I'd ask Trump, I'd ask Biden the same thing. If you get impeached, do you lose your presidential salary? It's like if he doesn't, when Trump wins in 2024, if Biden gets charged criminally with all of this stuff, even if it's as a private citizen, do you lose the pension for life? Because you shouldn't get it if you broke the law to earn it.
Probably in that case, yes. But the thing with Trump, here's the deal. On federal, state is one thing. Because our previous governor a long time ago, Edwards, he went to jail for a decade or so. Now he can't run for a state, Louisiana state election, but he could run for federal. Federal has no regulations whatsoever that if you have federal charges on, if Trump went to jail, he could be president from jail.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah. Didn't God, I can't think of his name, but I think he was from the governor of Illinois. He got nailed for doing a whole bunch of things, and he went to jail, and I think he came back out, and he he was talking about running for governor again, but I don't know if he did or not. They actually found proof on what he did. I forget what it was, but you know, I don't know.
Well, they never could find proof on anything Trump's done because it's all bumped up charges.
Yeah.
That's why they're trying so, and they make up more and more and more every day.
37.
Biden, it's Biden and the whole Biden crime syndicate. It's right up in your face.
Yeah.
And they're blatant about it. They're like, well, you know, we're not going to follow the federal law. We don't care about Congress. We don't care about nothing. We're just going to do it anyway. Biden creates all of these regulations that actually require Congress to vote on. He does it. And then the Supreme Court says, no, you can't do this. Watch me hold my beer. You know, he does it anyway.
I see those where he's making quotes like that. I haven't seen him actually standing before camera or something, but does he understand the last thing you want to do is threaten the Supreme Court, regardless of whether or not you put all 9 justices there or not?
I don't think he does. I'm not sure what he understands.
Yeah.
I know what he's told to understand. It's like him sitting overseas, wherever he was, and you know, his head down reading a cue card, and he gets it all wrong, and he's reading from the card. Like this dude's not right in the head.
No.
I mean, something has to give here.
Yeah.
But then you listen to the media, mainstream media, and they're all, the right-wing MAGA Republicans, the white supremacists, are all just making up conspiracy theories again. No, this is not. It's right in our face. They don't care it's in our face.
And it's around the country, too. I mean, around the world.
They do it right in our faces and just, you know, pretty much give us the half a peace sign.
Yeah.
And say, you know, I don't care if you don't believe it. It's what we're going to do anyway. I'm like, enough of this. This is bull. And, you know, I could add some expletives to this, but it says uncensored, but, you know.
That's why it says uncensored.
Yeah. It says bullshit. Just like Trump would say, this is a bunch of bullshit. And, you know, if Trump has to go in front of, you know, 50,000 people with 130,000 outside and say this is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. I mean, it's right in our faces. These people are corrupt as the day is long. And something has to change. But you can have all of these investigations, and ain't a damn thing gonna happen to these people because they have the power, and they're gonna keep the power one way or the other.
Do they ever wonder if he's just going to be in front of a bunch of reporters one day and just snap, and he's just going to say, I can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. The lies, the hypnosis at night, the everything they're putting me through, I just can't do it anymore. What do you think, Jerry?
I would be worried if he went to the store and got ice cream and said something on the sidewalk. I don't understand. This is so bad with him that there should be people going to jail just to allow him to run for president, like his wife and his children.
His vice president.
Well, Hunter Biden belongs in jail anyway. Yeah, and the woman who called him a rapist, old camel toe there. I mean, these people, they all know he's not physically fit to be the president. All I heard for 4 years when Trump was in office, how he was mentally unfit. I don't hear that at all from anyone here. Nobody, and not even the sites that aren't mainstream media do I hear this. He is unfit to be the president. He's been unfit to be the president, and it is own. We have watched it get worse as the world. Actually, the world has watched it get worse. They're not having debates because of they're afraid of what will happen during the debate. They would have to have the debate at 7 o'clock in the morning when he's the sharpest, literally, and even then would be. I wouldn't watch it.
That's
I
a
don't
stretch
enjoy
too.
watching that. Yeah, I don't enjoy watching somebody basically losing their mind and dying, even if it is Joe Biden. Okay. I mean, he, which is the direct, people literally just, I mean, Kathy Griffin came out with a bloody head for Trump, and Madonna said, blow up the White House. I don't want to watch the implosion here. I have no use for Joe Biden or his entire family. They have been corrupted pieces of garbage for more than half my life, um, which is why I don't really feel sorry for him at all. Otherwise, I probably would. Um, I don't at all, but I don't want to watch it either. And that's why I've never watched one of his press conferences or him do anything like fall up the stairs. I mean, we've all fallen up the stairs. I get it, but not 3 times in a row on the same day, on the same plane at the same time. Yeah. So, come on.
I've always said I've always said if that was the concern, getting him onto a plane, you could pull a jetway up to a plane. You could put him on a bucket lift, a really nice looking bucket lift that would raise him up to the plane. Because how did FDR get on planes once he was in a wheelchair, or did he just not travel anymore?
Good question. But
he was in a wheelchair from the first day he was president.
Okay, so how did they get him into? Right. So if he traveled, obviously he traveled. How did they get him into the plane?
Then, Dave, back then, and I've read this in history books and stuff, most of the country did not know he was in a wheelchair because the press. Well, first of all, he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
And the press has always been kind of Democrat leaning, always since the dawn of the press. Okay, but they kept it pretty much. They didn't put in newspapers and stuff. So when he was, say, for instance, sitting at his desk, he was sitting in a chair. They put him in a chair or something. You didn't see the wheelchair. So when he got on a plane, I don't know how they put him on the plane. But there were no cameras showing him getting on the plane or, I don't know, on a train or bus or, whatever the hell he was taking. I guess he didn't take the bus. I don't think the president takes the bus. Greyhound really isn't for the president. But, back then, the press kept that kind of a secret. A lot, and a lot of people in America did not know he was in a wheelchair. So
that's correct.
And he was in a wheelchair. He was in there, 16 years? He was in a wheelchair the entire freaking time. I got to tell you something. Well, we had no internet. Newspapers sometimes, even back in his day, were like, a week or 2 or 3 late and stuff. And it wasn't the same situation we have now where, the second something happens, everybody knows. So, and there's cameras literally everywhere. It's a little scary, actually, when you really sit down and think about it. I mean, these guys that go out and rob somebody in the street thinking they're not going to get caught, and they're on 1,500 cameras. Every business has a camera. Everybody has a camera on their cell phone. it's like it's actually a little scary that you really have no privacy whatsoever. And I'm all for the First Amendment and people being able to do that. I get it. And in many cases, it's actually a good thing. But frankly, I liked it better when you could walk down the street without worrying about somebody shoving a camera in your face and recording every single thing you do. Also, you know,
Yeah, and
I don't know.
The whole
I don't know
Biden
what the
thing,
answer is.
flying, they've resorted to, there's a secondary door to getting on Air
Yeah,
Force One, which is a shorter
yeah,
walk.
Yeah.
yeah.
And he's been taking
Yeah.
that one because he can't make the long walk
And, he,
up to where the cabin
and he's
is.
wearing tennis shoes.
Yeah.
And he's
And he's
on the
wearing
back
tennis
side of
shoes
the
instead
plane.
of
Yeah.
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 yeah. And he's
So
wearing
they're
tennis
having to
shoes
do
instead of
that.
leather soles.
Yep. They're having to do that
Because
because he's
surprisingly enough,
embarrassing this country.
yeah, surprisingly enough, $2,000 shoes are not very good at traction.
No.
So that's why Trump was walking down that metal. I've walked down that metal thing in combat boots before. Well, we used to use them for parades and stuff sometimes. And when it's wet, it's real damn slippery.
Yeah.
It was
So
piss
if you're
ass
in
raining.
$5,000 pair of shoes, yeah, I mean that may be a status symbol, but I got to tell you, you're not walking down one of them things without getting a little slippy.
No.
So that's why he was walking that way. Biden
He had
not comfortable either.
Biden,
he had leather shoes on, and that ramp
yeah,
was a metal ramp,
Yeah.
which is all
Yep.
slick with rain. And
slick.
then all of a sudden,
It's
he
slick
has
on a dry
cognitive
day.
he has cognitive problems.
Yeah.
He needs to be tested and he's not fit. They need to pull out the 25th Amendment. I'm like, you morons. Y'all try this. Media, try it. See how it works out for you. And have your own media partners video you walking down this ramp in leather shoes on a slick ass ramp.
Yeah.
And then come back with that story again and see how that works out for you.
Yep.
Well, it's like you see Melania, she wears the 6-inch spikes sometimes. Watch her walk on any woman who wears those type of shoes. Watch them walk on grass. Okay?
It ain't easy.
They walk exactly the same way.
Oh yeah.
No, it ain't easy. You need a hard surface for them. And on those, like Trump would wear on his feet, you need a flat surface like concrete or something, because all them stage things, they're all made of the same thing. But like when Biden was tripped over the rubber, whatever the hell that thing was, on the stage they put rubber mats on there so that people don't fall down. But on the ramps, you're SOL. That's just simple as that. You're on your own. Okay. And Air Force One, they used the metal stairs to get up. Now, I've fallen up the stairs probably 20 times in my life, just like I said, not 3 times on the same set of stairs on the same freaking day at the same, ascent to the airplane. It's just not. That is, you fall once, and the first thing that comes in your head is pick up your feet and place them on the next stair. That's what everybody thinks. And Joe doesn't because he's not capable of it.
Right.
No, you slow your roll, and Joe doesn't know how to slow his roll because, he gets this little jog that he's got, and Joe, you can't jog these days. How about you step by step by step? You're going to look a little slower, but, you're not going to fall down possibly.
No.
If
you
I'm president,
you might not look
I'm going
as
to walk.
bad.
If I'm president, I'm going to walk the same way I walk around here. We have pygmy rattlesnakes all over the frickin' place. We got all kinds of snakes. I don't want to step on one. I look down when I walk. And that's what he needs to do. Okay. Simply, and you
Yep.
don't have to lower your head. All you got to do is lower your eyes. It's not that hard,
Right.
but he can't do, he's not capable of
No.
remembering to do that. So this will, I mean, remember Gerald Ford? That guy, if a
Bang his head
slight
on the
breeze
top of
came
it.
by the White House, he fell down the damn stairs. I don't know what the hell his problem was. And that guy was actually an athlete in college, and a pretty good one. He played on the, I think Michigan or something, football team. Okay, I think he played with John Wayne, if I'm not mistaken, for a little while till John Wayne got hurt. But
But he made
Biden
it up the
falls
stairs to Air Force
simply
when he just
because he
banged his
doesn't
head
have
on
the
the
mental
getting
capacity.
in.
Not.
I think Gerald was so tall that he banged
the
his
mental
head getting into it a few times.
Not. Here's the deal. Joe Biden should probably, in these instances where he has to be in a wheelchair, like if he was a regular person, he'd be in a wheelchair getting on an airplane. He'd be one of them people who get loaded on first in a wheelchair. Okay? It's simple as that. But because he's the president, we can't put him in a wheelchair, so he's on his own. And you can't have somebody walking him up the stairs of Air Force One in front of the world.
So then, like you said, why not use the back door that's not as high, not as a straight up angle, and then you have Jill holding a dish of ice cream, tuck it out and show them a dish of ice cream so he knows to keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, we'll do that. I mean, that would work for me. Put some Oreos on that sucker. I'll make sure I get to it. Yeah. And they put him in tennis shoes, which everybody's making a big deal about. I have to tell you something. Him falling up the stairs and wearing tennis shoes, going in the back door of Air Force One is the least of my problems with Joe Biden.
Right.
It really is, because Joe Biden is a corrupt piece of garbage. I mean, there's no way around it. There is zero way around him being a corrupt piece of garbage.
What I want to see is how once Trump has the nomination, I want to see how Biden gets around Trump saying we have to debate. I mean, that's just the way this is always done. Because evidently the Biden camp has said there will be no presidential debates. He will not debate other Democrats trying to get the nomination. He will not debate the Republican nominee to get the presidency. Well, look at how bad it was coming up to 2020. He had that thing in his hand that looked like sticking out of his shirt sleeve that looked like a mic that supposedly people were talking. There was an earpiece at one point.
Yeah.
People thought he was being told what to say, and Trump's not going to stand for that stuff this time. I hope Trump has people at Fox that night. No,
he didn't do that well in that debate. I didn't think at all. Everything with him was he's going to kick somebody's ass or something, and it's like Trump, I thought, walked all over him.
Yeah,
not as well as he walked all over Hillary Clinton, because when he told Hillary you'd be in jail, I jumped out of my chair, jumped in the freaking air, almost hit my head on the ceiling fan. I was so thrilled with that. I was like, you just won the election with that comment. Won you the election right there.
And you were wearing tennis shoes so that you didn't bounce off the ceiling and fall down.
Yeah, well, no, I was wearing flip flops. But whatever. The point is that I'm not big on debates because they just. Although I did enjoy the Trump debates, I got to be truthful. But I'm not that big on debates anyway, because the way I see it, we're going to have 4 years of Trump's accomplishments to put against 4 years of Biden's whatever the hell it is, and
accomplishment of getting through 4
years.
In
my opinion,
debacle.
The opinion of many others, Trump wins that hands down. without having a debate. All Trump wants to do is go up there and make Joe look stupid, which takes actually nothing.
Yeah.
Um,
Show up.
as bad as he is, who's pulling the strings is a real question and needs answering. Yeah, well, it's the elites. I keep saying this here lately. The politicians from the president on down are nothing more than middle management, and they bumble around like middle management. They get orders, and this is what they're supposed to do. So it's like, I don't know.
But then there's the clips from Obama doing the late night shows just before he was done, saying that if I could find a person, no, actually, I think it was going into 2020, if I could find a person to be the front man and do exactly what I told them to do, I would do it in a heartbeat. And then you see him kind of looking like, these people don't believe that. And I'm sitting there thinking, going, Barry, if you said it, they think you would do it. Because I still don't get it. Biden.
I think Barry is higher up on the food chain than Biden is, but I still think he's well below the elites.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think he's the one actually whispering in Joe's ear, but he's been to the White House often, as we all know. And he's there to see Joe Biden. He ain't there to see the janitor or the cook. Okay, and whatever their meetings are, and probably not even Joe Biden, probably the people who, I don't know, probably he is there to see the people who control Joe Biden, because Joe Biden probably wouldn't even miss. They just trot him out for a press conference once in a while to show them that they're together. But yeah, I believe Obama is fully vested in ruining this country. I've believed that since the day he said we are going to fundamentally change the United States of America, and that was early in his campaign. So the first time. So I believe that, and I believe now. I didn't believe it for a long time, but after watching Joe Biden doing what he's doing, I believe that Obama would have been telling Hillary Clinton what to do if she had won. Okay, and it would have been done much better and much faster and everything else, and Hillary would have been like the left's hero forever. It just didn't work out that way for him, and we put a 4-year stopgap on.
When he made her Secretary of State, that was the best thing he could have done for her, to prepare her to be president, because the vice president doesn't do diddly squat. Joe Biden really had didn't earn, after 8 years of being vice president, the right to be president. And but then again, Hillary went wrong too. But
what did Hillary do? Hillary was first lady in an unelected position. She rode in on her husband's coattails, and ran for senator in New York and won that pretty easily. And because she was first lady, and she's one of the Clintons, so
she was active in Bill's,
for like 1 or 2 terms.
She was very active in Bill Clinton's health care plans.
Yeah, which was a disaster. You know what? Back then, the House and Senate had some sense, and they didn't pass any of that crap. Otherwise, we'd have just had it sooner. So, and the Obamas and the Clintons don't like each other. It's very obvious. And the FBI, we're talking. How can Bill Clinton talk to at the time the Attorney General on an airplane at an airport on the tarmac almost in secret? Somebody saw them, I guess. Almost in secret, right before Hillary, who could be charged or not for emails. The FBI is completely corrupted. The DOJ is completely corrupted, and that back then is why she lost the election.
From what I
Period.
understand, he told whoever at the airport to hold her plane, Lynch's plane, and not let. I don't know what the reason was. I mean, it wasn't. It wasn't. I just want to, my friend Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, is on that plane, and I want to say hi to her. I don't know what he told them to hold her plane. And from what I understand, Lynch at the time made it clear to him this was not appropriate. And it didn't matter. He was going to do whatever. He was there for whatever he was there
that's
for.
That's what she said. Yeah, that's what she said, Dave. That's not what she did.
No.
That's not what she did. That's what she said. They always say that, but they never. That's not what they were doing. They were figuring out how Hillary could run for president, not go to jail or get charged. And the reason nobody went to jail for the emails is because the Attorney General gave them all immunity just to talk about it. Right. And then we never really got all the information.
And Comey's little comments never dropped.
Yuma.
Yeah. Comey's little comments never dropped either. Yeah. Yeah.
We were watching the press conference on a show when Comey came out with Loretta Lynch. Comey looked like somebody had just killed his dog and his wife.
She did.
And he had to go out and tell the American people there'd be no charges. And I remember the reaction on the show. And back then we had a lot more people watching. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning or something. We were doing it on YouTube, I remember. And it was like, yeah, okay. She's getting away with it. With the whole, what do you mean wipe my computer? You mean with a cloth? I mean, it's like, come on. Don't act stupid. And you know what, Dave? It hasn't gotten better. It's gotten worse, way worse. And nothing. The only thing that has changed is the fact that it has gotten worse since then.
If Comey had done the right thing and went to Trump after he won the election and spilled his guts and said, I played the game. I was told we're not going to go after her. Then I changed my mind. We were going to go after her. And then it was decided, no, we're not going to go after her. And had done everything, recharged her or re-indicted her or whatever with Bill Barr or whoever, Jeff Sessions, whoever was Attorney General back then. Would Comey have been okay? Because I just think he said he was going to do it, said he wasn't going to do it, and then he just walked away and became a writer and made money. It's like he never faced any action.
Has no character. The guy had no character. The guy had nothing in his soul. Nothing. He was just a puppet. And, he sat there during that press conference, talked about every crime she committed, and then said there no reasonable prosecutor would ever prosecute. Yeah, no. Okay, it's not bullshit. Okay. He is a corrupted piece of garbage. He always has been. He always will be, which is the problem with the FBI is not so much all of the agents, although quite a few of them are involved. It's not all of them. It's the top floor and the ones below them that they can corrupt for money.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's that like that idiot from January 6th. Apparently they're going to charge him. This is not a real trial. This is a show trial to say yes, and he's going to go about his business and probably retire.
Yeah.
He's not going to get found guilty. None of that is going to happen. But it's a show trial, and he is on. To him, they have given him a mission to go through this. This is your job now, okay? And nothing's going to happen to him. He's not going to jail for 10 years or one day. for an hour.
10 seconds.
It's a setup because they know everybody keeps talking about this damn guy. Everybody wants to know why he's not being charged. So they did. And now they can say, see, he's being charged. Meanwhile, we have a girl in prison right now. She didn't cause any trouble. She was inside the Capitol, which was stupid, but she didn't cause any problems. She didn't hit any cops. She was listening to what the cops were telling her and going where they were telling her to go, because apparently the cops there turned into freaking White House or a Capitol building tour guides. Okay. And a fake FBI agent was on her defense team, and the judge would not let her, and they found out, and the judge would not let her lawyers question this person.
Yep.
And now she's in jail for 4 years, and they're treating her like crap in the jail or
Yep.
prison, I guess. 4 years would be prison. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Well, like the other night, I said what I'd be doing if I was Trump and I was going to be elected. I was elected president while I was doing the inauguration speech. I would be writing out signing executive orders. I'd also be signing some pardons, a whole bunch of them, and that would probably be the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm going to tell you something. There was a guy, he just got sentenced, I think yesterday, the day before, where he hit the cop with a freaking flagpole 4 times. And he got, I think, 4 years or something, or 3. I'd let him sit there for a while. Can't do that. But the people that were just in there wandering around the Capitol building should maybe have been given a week in jail with time served, which has been what? How many years now? Okay.
Yeah.
Come on. And move on with their damn lives and maybe, I don't know, get some constitutional rights inside the jail and all that kind of crap. All right. This needs to stop. This needs to stop. And I got to tell you something. This is what third world countries do. This is what they do. Political enemies are treated this way, with no rights, solitary confinement, bad food, no food, beaten, screwed with by the guards, the whole 9 yards. This is what third world countries do. Not the United States of America, where we let murderers out of prison to go murder again, rapists out of prison to go rape again, but people that were wandering around the Capitol have no rights, and they're just stuck in jail, no bail, no nothing. Not one of them charged with insurrection.
Except Trump.
Trump. Oh, yeah. That.
And he wasn't there.
Oh, but don't you remember, Nick? He grabbed the steering wheel of the car and beat up the Secret Service agent to get to the Capitol so he could, kill everyone. Yeah, that's what he did. Yeah. Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Trump. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fake news media.
Fake news. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Big time.
Can Trump fix the Justice Department?
No.
If he fires everybody.
Unless he fires every single. Yeah, if he fires everybody, I would say from the top down at least 150, 200 people. And then start over.
Yeah.
You can't fire everybody in the Justice Department. You really can't.
No. You have
and then
to
there
leave
needs
one.
to be some reform. Like if you got a guy that's trespassing, you charge him with trespassing. Make it a misdemeanor because it's, I don't know, public ground. Okay. And the White House is public grounds too. And at one time you could just walk into the White House and request to see the president. It didn't matter who you were. Them days are over now. Okay. And I get that. I do. But if you're standing on the grass outside the Capitol and they're arresting you for insurrection, that's horseshit. Not even an insurrection. Or trespassing that they're saying is insurrection.
Parade.
And you're bringing it. You're bringing it between
Parading.
handpicked judges. Yeah,
What the fuck
parading.
is that?
Yeah,
Parading.
you're bringing it before handpicked judges that are as liberal as the day is long, who believe this was an actual insurrection already know what they're going to do with you before you even get started. Screw you out of being able to question or bring evidence, so on and so forth. And we're putting old ladies in prison for this crap. There was one just the other day. Okay, we are actually putting old ladies in prison for this stupid crap.
Yep.
And you know what? I've said this since the day it was happening. While it was happening, this is the dumbest thing you could possibly be doing. Don't go in, you morons. So yes, they deserve, and that guy with the hat deserved at least a month for that hat. But got years. I mean, some of them did damage. Yeah, okay, maybe give them a year, 6 months, something like that. Some of them assaulted people. Yeah, okay, I get that. But that was the vast majority of these people were literally wandering around in there thinking they were doing something when they really weren't. And what they were doing, the main thing they were doing is playing right into the Democrats' hands, as these rallies and these stupid things we pull all the time constantly do, so that they can say it was an insurrection, even though it wasn't. We're all looking at insurrection. There wasn't a gun in the place. Nobody got hurt, really. You know, it's like, how is this an insurrection? You know, I've heard of insurrections. There's usually at least one automatic weapon or pistol or, I don't know, a slingshot or something. Okay. We got guys walking around in costumes with, buffalo hats on. Like, really?
With an American
I'm
flag.
laughing at that.
Yeah, with a
An
flagpole.
American flag.
The flagpole
Yeah.
was a weapon, That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
They showed up with weapons,
Yeah, I know.
poles, and
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that. So yeah,
Sure.
flagpole.
Should it keep Pence out of ever having a chance to run for president? Because I, regardless of what people tell me, I'm just convinced that he, Pelosi, the heads of the Capitol Police Departments, maybe even the DC Metro Police, somebody in the Trump White House, I hate to say that, but somebody at the Trump White House, because if you look at this and you look at it deep, he offered to send the National Guard in. Pelosi didn't want it, and then seemed like she came back later and said, but we're waiting for the president to send the National Guard in. And
he lied.
Right, and that's what they do. I understand that. I have a funny feeling with Pelosi that the only reason she's still sitting there quietly as a House representative from San Francisco, California, is that no one seems to know whether or not Dianne Feinstein on the Senate side from California, San Francisco is the city, is going to either step down or finish the term and not run for re-election, because evidently the case of shingles that she had was really bad, and they're saying that she may not be able to do
No, I think
the rest of the term.
It was more than shingles.
I think she's got dementia, Dave, I think, or
Okay.
Alzheimer's, one of them two.
All right.
All right. Her mind ain't there. They've been saying that for the last few years. I'm going to tell you something about Trump. Trump's biggest mistake in this whole damn thing, after he said he would hire good people, is that he did not. I think Pence was forced on him, because Pence is literally the direct opposite of Trump. And I think Pence did a good job getting Trump elected, but from there, I think it was a joke.
Yeah.
All right. His picks for attorney general were horrendous. Okay. And like he picked Mitch McConnell's wife to run an agency. No. He did not hire good people and people that were like him, I guess, or at least close to straighten out what was going on in the federal government. People that weren't afraid to stand up to the microphone and tell people, screw you. We ain't doing this. The only one who came close was that woman, and I don't remember her name now, but she was in charge of the Board of Education, the most useless
Betsy DeVos.
department.
Betsy DeVos.
She was close.
Yeah.
I remember her standing up and saying, we're not doing this. Okay. But everybody else was all political and very, well, we're going to do all the crap nobody wants to hear anymore. And that caught up to him 4 years later, especially with Pence. I don't know what Pence is thinking. I don't think anybody knows what Pence is thinking, that he has any chance to be president of the United States unless they cheat him into the nomination. And then he's going to lose to whoever the Democrat is, so it doesn't make any difference.
Even Biden.
Which is, in my opinion, can't be much worse than Mike Pence. Mike Pence belongs nowhere near government anymore.
No. He doesn't even have the needed, I think it's 40 or 50,000 minor donations. He hasn't met it to get into the first debate. He hasn't met it yet. So Pence has no chance. There's no chance whatsoever.
Should Michael Horowitz, the Inspector General of the Justice Department, should he be, I go as far, I wouldn't say take it out and shot, but he needs to, how can you be the guy who runs the internal affairs of the Justice Department and sit there and just not be trying to get your face in the press saying,
here's the problem, Dave. It's simple. It's, the elected officials are bad enough. I'm not taking anything away from them when it comes to the shit they do. Okay. They're bad enough. The unelected officials are much, much, much worse. The appointees, the guy that they appoint to be like Horowitz. Okay. How long has Horowitz been the Inspector General in wherever?
At least.
I've heard that guy's name for 10, 15 years now, and everybody's so hopeful he's going to I remember him during Obama when he was going to be the one to get Obama out of office, and he never did. Okay, this is the problem. We have too many unelected officials in this country, and especially in Washington, D.C., making rules that are basically laws so that they can tax you, although they call it fines or fees, more money, with arbitrary frickin' rules and stupidity that is completely illegal. And when they are investigated, either one of two things happen. They did nothing wrong, we're all good, or they've done this wrong, and we're going to do absolutely nothing about it.
Yeah.
Okay, and they continue on. That's the problem in this country. We got too many unelected officials with way too much power that just do shit that they shouldn't be doing.
You're right.
Yeah, I'd like to know. I've always wondered where, all the regulation fines that go against anybody and everybody, every corporation, whatever.
Into the general fund.
They fine them, but where does the money go, Dave?
Well, it's like Bill Markler. It never
gets applied to anything. It's free money. We just willy-nilly spend it. Send it to Ukraine, send it to, Afghanistan, send it to China, send it to Russia.
I think it goes the same place our Social Security goes, and that's
into
the general fund.
Yeah, I caught one of Bill Markler's broadcasts recently,
and Nick's right.
And he was talking about it, and he said, you don't have an account with Social Security. I don't have an account with SSDI. You don't have an account where you pay this, where you pay that. He said it all goes into the general fund, and they pretty much just do whatever the hell they want with it. He said the word. I just said hello. Yeah.
Just like Nick said, how you think all this money that's going to Ukraine and all that shit? He's right. It comes from, China also, and it comes from our military reserves, which we need, but we're giving away all that, and the general fund. Social Security used to be its own fund.
Yeah.
That when you paid into it, it went into its own bank account kind of thing.
Yeah, they couldn't touch it.
And I think in the 60s they changed it and put it in the general fund so that the government could do whatever they want with it. Now, this is why we're always hearing about Social Security running out of money, but never welfare.
But that's why, because they took the money and they never paid it back.
That's my whole point. They keep finding all of these companies hundreds of millions or billions of dollars, but Social Security is still bankrupt. How the hell does that happen if it's all in the general fund?
Yeah.
Well,
because the general fund, is now in Ukraine.
Well, there's that too. And
the
plus,
general fund is basically another translated. The general fund is we can do whatever the hell we want with the money.
Right.
That's translated. That's what the general fund is. Okay, so that's always that. And you know what? You're right. It's if we quit sending billions of dollars to the Ukraine, who can't seem to ever win this war, is not going to win this war. And it doesn't look like Russia wants to either, but at least they're more honest than the Ukraine is, but nevertheless, and put it into Social Security, I guarantee you we would not be bankrupt. If we quit sending money to countries that hate us, I guarantee you Social Security would not be bankrupt. I also guarantee that bridges and roads and stuff run by the federal government would be fixed. And cars wouldn't be falling off them and killing people. And
you'll probably slap me for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You guys that need help from the VA that have been told for years that you're going to get help from the VA probably would have got it. And that's where I think a good amount of it should have gone.
The VA is a government agency. They are just as corrupted at the top as any other agency in the United States government. And here's the problem. And everybody here knows this, because everybody here has worked for a company or, worked for themselves or something, and they realize this. Rot in a company or in the government starts at the head.
Yep.
It never starts at the feet. It starts at the head, and it trickles down. So when I go to the VA and I see some nurse or I see some government employee there who is obviously, and I've gone through this, obviously racist, who happens to be Pat, I'll solve the problem. Okay. That kind of thing. Okay. They don't get fired. And why is that? Because the government, number one, is afraid of them. And number two, they have put in rules, laws, regulations, and every other damn thing you can think of to pay this person and keep them on the job until they, exactly, until they die or they retire or whatever.
Civil service and affirmative action.
I've seen.
Aside from retirement, it's hard to get rid of a person on civil service.
I remember.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Once I saw a guy, and he was old. I think he may have been now it could have been Vietnam. But he was older than me. Getting yelled at by a government. He's just a civil servant behind the desk at the VA who. When you go there, they you go up to these people and you tell them I'm here for an appointment, one kind of deal, and they get you checked in. Okay. Normally, if you went to a real hospital, it'd be some kind of nurse or some kind of hospital employee or something. Okay. And I watched this guy, and he had been there a long time. I've always seen him. He'd always come to work. He had his little slouch hat down. He never made eye contact with anybody, like he hated everybody. And he screamed at this guy to the point where I actually stood up. And what pissed me off is I was the only one. That really pissed me off. I was the only one. And I was walking down that way, but he didn't see me, I don't think. But I don't know why, because I was staring death rays at his ass. And, I don't know. People stare death rays at me. I kind of know it, but he didn't see me. And he stopped and walked off. And the guy was just standing there, and I you all right, dude? That kind of shit. And he just said, yeah, whatever. And he left. And that's the kind of people that get to stay at the VA simply because the VA is just as corrupt as the rest of the government. Back in the day, the civil service was even worse because it was all appointees. If you had political contacts, you could get into civil service, no problem. And once you got there, they had like Tammany Hall, for instance, in New York. Once you were in there, nobody was firing you. As long as you played the game, you were good to go. Okay. Now it's the same thing. It's just they instead of politicians doing that, it's once you get in, the rules and regulations make it near impossible to fire you. The VA, I have read stuff on the VA, child molesters who ran hospitals, the entire damn hospital, weren't fired when they were caught. They were sent to a different hospital to run that one. People so incompetent running hospitals that they've almost broken the one they're at are sent to another hospital to run that. People who are thieves, like stealing, out the back door of the VA, are not fired. They're just sent somewhere else. This is the VA. When you listen and you say to everybody, "Oh, fix the VA," he did not. He did not. He didn't fix any government agency. The only way to fix government agencies is to be truthful, privatize them. It won't be perfect. There is no perfect solution, but I guarantee you, if they privatized every single government agency, it would be better. Maybe not the IRS. I don't know. Their tax. The
IRS,
but
the IRS needs to be gone. That's a separate broadcast.
It was proven to me in the military. Just when I was in the military, we had a chow hall. Take you a half hour to get through the freaking line. By the time it was done, you had to get the hell out. That kind of stuff. They privatized it, and it made everything better. Even the food was better. Okay, and civilians were working in our chow hall. The only two military guys were the guys actually in charge, and it was usually a master sergeant or a sergeant major in charge of the chow hall. That was it.
Yeah.
But the civilians came in, and literally, when you went in there, you had plenty of time to eat. The food wasn't like you were eating at home, but it was better than it was before. And you didn't have a lot of people with bad attitudes, because mess duty was literally the worst duty to get in the military. It is worse than guard duty, because you worked from about 4 o'clock in the morning till 7, 8 o'clock at night, and then you went to sleep, and you started all over again. You had to do it 30 days straight. By the first week, you don't want nothing to do with nothing. You don't like nobody. You don't want to be around nobody. And unfortunately, 1,000 guys are about to show up and want to eat and not be happy about what they see. Okay, so privatizing the government, I got to be truthful. In my opinion, which is nobody's listening, so it doesn't matter. But for the most part, would be a better solution. It would be a better solution than having unelected officials like we have now. Now, one good thing Trump did was, for every new rule you make, got to get rid of 2 old ones. And it should have been, for every new rule you make, you got to get rid of 10 old ones. That's what it should have been.
All 10 rules of the IRS.
Because the government's job is simply this: protect America, take care of the roads, and try to make policies that help people help themselves. Not, just hand them this and hand them that and hand them this so they vote for you. That's not what the government's supposed to do. I'm sorry. Please, someone else talk. This ain't my show, and I'm talking too much.
No, you're fine. You're getting me back for when I talked too much on the American Rebellion, which I did not mention once. The American Rebellion is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Yeah. Here on Facebook.
Paybacks of what? There.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
No, paybacks of what?
I actually didn't.
Bitch.
Oh, well.
I think last night he did pretty damn well, frankly. Last night he was fine. I had no problem.
And I actually made notes. The funny thing about last night.
Well, Dave. You're doing quite well. You're learning.
Last night, I actually made notes to myself. Pay attention. Wait my turn. Mic off when not talking.
Right.
And don't ask about that. You didn't hear me say that.
Yeah.
Okay. because and I'm glad you cut me off on it, Jerry, only because I like him, I miss him, and that's the end of all I'm going to say on it. I really wish I got a chance to do a couple of shows with him, but like you said,
one of the things I loved about Matt, he's a different kind of guy. He really is.
Yeah,
Matt is a mess.
Now remember, we're not talking about Matt.
His heart. I'm going to tell you that. Yeah, but he's a mess. I mean, a complete mess. But on the outside, you couldn't fluster that guy to save your life. And I often wonder, because I'm a mess inside too, and if I could just calm down, I think I do better in life. I don't know. I mean, Matt got a lot of money and I have none, so that tells me something. I don't know what it does. It's something.
I guess you don't worry anymore, maybe. I don't know. I don't have a lot of money and I worry all the time, and I hope one of my 5 numbers wins one of our 5 numbers wins the 800 some odd million, and I wouldn't even know what to do.
Right. I'd know what to do.
I buy a new truck.
Yeah.
And I get my wife a new house. Put a new house up.
Get my wife a new house.
I would go around finding old trucks, and I would rebuild them and refurbish them and be happy. That's it. But I didn't win. I think 2 people from California won with the same number.
One lady actually admitted finally that it wasn't her, and then the other person, the second person actually is the person who won. I don't know the whole story about the first one. Admitted that she didn't win. I don't know if that's all I heard is that she admitted she didn't win. I don't know if she read the ticket wrong or something.
One person won the $1.02 billion.
Yeah. And
now we have the mega million.
Yeah, that's 800 million is tonight.
Here's another question, Nick. Now you won over $1 billion, right? Woohoo! Yeah. The government's going to take 60% of that. Where the hell does that go? Right?
In the general fund. In the general fund.
60% of $1 billion is like $600 million.
Now,
$600 million.
I was thinking about that. I was pondering how this works, because you take, if you want $1 billion, just even billion, you get like 500 million. They take 50% of that shit. So you get the cash payout, but then that's before taxes. So then they tax you like 33% on your 500 million.
Yeah.
So you're down to whatever it is, 300 million, whatever the hell it happens.
$27.95.
Yeah, $1.298. Yeah, like $1.298 or something.
Enough to buy a ticket to lose next week.
But I'm guessing at my age, I'm only 53. Should I just go for the annuity at that point? Because you get a lump sum payment, and it was like $300 million. Yeah. And then after the fact, you're getting, I watched it. It's like $39 million a year for 29 years. I'm like,
but then you got to worry about like Illinois when they run out of
that's
money.
Before taxes.
They can't pay anybody.
Take taxes. There's that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
that's why they say you go to the financial guy, you get everything set up, and then you take the whole lump sum, and then when you get it, you hide it. I guess you hide most of it or something. I don't know, but the government's going to get their cut no matter what. Right away.
They get theirs.
I think they got the government account right there at the lottery office, so he's taking his cut, and then the rest you got to start put into some place to where they can't tax it until. I'm pretty sure it's not they can't tax it, but they can't tax it later.
They can't. Well, they don't tax it. They don't tax it until you start taking it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what the annuity is.
Yeah.
That's what the annuity does.
That's what I had always heard.
On a yearly basis.
Yeah, you tax. Yeah, you tax. you tax or you pay all the taxes off. That I had always heard lawyers that I knew that had never handled a big jackpot just said you pay all the taxes, then you know what you have. Then it's take like 10% of whatever it is you won. And that's when you go buy all the houses around the world, buy the islands around the world that you want, buy the garages you want, the studios you want, everything
that
you've
one
ever.
tractor, Jerry.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, he needs a third tractor to pull out the one that has a dead battery so that he can get to the one that has a good battery. Because I got to tell you, I love Jerry very much, but if I wanted to go out at 3 o'clock in the morning and mow my lawn and the good tractor with a battery is sitting in front, I'd have to pull the one with a dead battery out and move it back in, or I'd have to park the one with the good battery. I'd have to back that one in and then push the other one in, because we had a rule at the first little company I managed. We had a rule because we could fit 3 cars in each space. The first 2 going out before noon were always parked facing engines facing each other, so we could jump them. Because the third car, it really didn't matter. Once the other 2 were out, we'd move that one up, and but
Gary has organizational skill problems.
I just gave him an idea for a new DIY video.
Actually, that's not true. That's not true. I have organization out the ass. I know pretty much where everything is in that farm. I do.
I've seen your garage.
There's a whole bunch of it. I know where everything is in there. I do. I know because actually rearranged the entire thing where it belongs.
Yeah, placement.
But the battery.
Tractor.
Yeah. Well, it's not that. I have a space problem where I need twice the size, and a concrete floor would be good, so I could put my truck in there and do oil changes and stuff. Plus, it's kind of on a downhill thing because I wanted it under the trees, so there would be shade on it, and that wasn't good either. But it's a space problem at this point. That, and if you really want to dig deeper, it's a psychotic problem that I can't throw anything away ever.
That's where I was going.
It's been around for 10, 15 years, and I sincerely have no use for it whatsoever, but I've had it so long that I like the feeling that it's there, which is, it's not good. Not good at all. But I know where everything is.
I sent him a meme one day that someone had sent to me, and it was like I think it was a starter with a can of starter fluid next to it. And I sent it to Jerry, and I think he laughed and sent the laugh back to me because I was waiting for Jerry to say, you just go, I think the caption on it said, where does the fluid go? And I was waiting for Jerry to say, go out and buy a new one.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I have that.
I purposely.
I'm very organized
right now
in my own mind. I know where I put everything, but then I would get my Aunt Yolanda, who liked to organize on her own, and then I have my mom, who organizes differently, and then I can't find shit.
Yeah. My mother did that to me once.
I have a rule. I spent 2 weeks in that barn about a year ago, building shelves, building, you name it, just putting everything in it finally after living here for 10 years in the correct place and together, stuff that belongs together, stayed together. And that's why I know where every single thing is in there. Just when you look at it, it's like, dear God, it looks like a serial killer. It works in here. It does, because it does. I mean, even I know that.
It makes no sense to anyone else.
It's like, wow.
You.
My mother did that to me
Well,
once.
if you actually walked in there and you saw and you looked at everything, it would make sense. Like, it's just, it would take you a while. That's all. I try to do shit that makes sense, And when I'm dead, I'm not going to give a shit. I told him, keep what you want and sell everything else. I could care less, okay? Because I'll be dead.
Good luck.
I actually have in that barn, I have 5 Yeah, 5 lawn mowers. I got 2 push mowers in there I found on the side of the road, and I got them running. I have one project mower that's from 1985. I
What's
have
a
my 2
project
other
mower?
mowers that actually they run. I just need a battery for one, which I'll probably buy this month. And the price of
Okay.
batteries, I'm not getting. I used to be able to buy a battery for my mower for $25. I don't know what happened. They're now twice the price, but nevertheless,
Or
uh,
three
you know,
times, thrice the price.
and then I have tools that I actually I have every kind of hand tool you can think of. I got all kinds of power tools. I have all kinds of air tools, and all these videos that I do watch, nobody uses air tools anymore. They're using electric ones, and I need to catch up, and then I saw the price, and I was like, well, I'm gonna stop catching up now because I ain't paying that much for like an electric, like an air gun, lets you take like lug nuts or
Yeah.
something off. I'm not paying that much for an electric one. That ain't happening. It's an impact gun, basically. I'm not doing that. But all my air tools need to be rebuilt, and so I'm in a quandary, really. But the night mowing, you make fun of the night mowing. The night mowing, other than the hole in the yard that I fell into, or the mower fell into, it was good. I enjoyed it.
It's pretty cool.
I did. Got
In
the
the
cool
dark room,
headlight.
was there enough? Is there enough
Yeah,
light for you to actually
when the
see
sun
what you
came
were
up.
doing?
Yeah, when the sun came up, I didn't miss any spots. It was good. It was just harder to see my dogs, the holes they dig. So you had to be careful, and there was only one that could swallow the mower, and I hit that one pretty good. To where I had my wife out there at 1 o'clock in the morning, sitting on the damn thing and hitting the gas while I was lifting it up to get the back tires back on the ground. I tried everything else. I tried wood. I tried all kinds of crap under there. Nothing was working, and finally got her to do it. So it worked. That worked. But yeah. It's just hey, I watch. I believe it or not, I watch videos. They got a bunch of them out there of guys who do nothing but cut grass for free for people.
Yeah.
And I watch these videos, and I've never one time seen any of them do it at night. I said, well, I'm gonna be different. And now, an hour and a half video, which I'll cut down quite a bit, and I speed it up and all that. I can't get off my damn phone, which is annoying me.
Yeah,
He's holding the phone up as a flashlight so he can see where he's going.
yeah. Well,
There's a headlight on the mower.
Brand new lawnmower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even my old lawnmower, I had headlights. My new lawnmower, it's got the auto headlights. They turn on.
Oh God.
Oh,
If
really?
the son bitch would actually run at this point, because it's only 2 years old, and it's got that carburetor problem. So, I've caught myself at night because I like to, it's hot in the South.
Yeah.
So you cut grass later on in the afternoon, and eventually you want to do a really good job. You're doing a lot of trimming, and then you turn the lights on and you cut with the lights on, and they work pretty damn good. Well, the new one has LED
They do.
lights.
I know. Yeah,
It's
yours
great.
has LEDs. Mine has the old whatever that, like like the car light bulbs, the old ones,
incandescent.
The ones you don't want to get your fingers on.
Yeah.
You don't get your fingers on them.
1157s, 1157, 1156s, I think they were.
Those.
And everybody had them. I still have like an entire plastic thing of those bulbs out in my barn somewhere that apparently I feel are going to come back because I haven't gotten rid of them yet, and they're still good. They're so old.
To live close enough
put
to
them
Jerry.
in something, they would blow out immediately.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do for better light is I'm going to put fog lights on my mowers, and that'll work. Because I was thinking about that while I was actually mowing. I'm like, I need some fog lights on this thing, and that would be
get
perfect.
one of those
all
big
the fog lights now,
LED bars.
light bars.
Yeah.
Light bar.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, well, it'd have to be a small one because the mower ain't big enough. I have one here for my truck that I'm going to put on my truck, but the smaller one, like a 12-inch, would work fine. And that's what I'm going to do. And I was thinking about this while I was mowing. I said, I could put fog lights on my mower. I'd be the coolest motherfucker on the planet. Fog lights. And going down to the mailbox.
Pimp my mower.
Going down to the mailbox at 3 a.m, which, you could come across some furry critters at that point that don't know you're coming. Or are in the woods lurking, waiting for you to come like a bear or something. That would scare them off. I'd be great. Yeah.
And he said he lives in the dark. He says he lives in the dark, so if he's going down to get his mail at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd probably have to call him at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and tell him to meet me at his mailbox because the headlights went out on my mower and I'd have to, get there before dark.
Right.
Well, I know. If I lived in a subdivision, if I lived in a subdivision, I'd probably be in jail for the noise I make at night. My wife could sleep through a fucking hurricane or with an earthquake and a tornado all at the same time while the house is being twirled around in the freaking sky. She'd be sound asleep, not know what the hell happened. Okay. I mean, I'm pulling mowers out. I'm freaking saws, table saws, chop saws, and a lot of cursing when I the socket comes off the bolt and you slam your hand into a piece of wood or something. That kind of bullshit. And nothing. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I live out here and there's only one neighbor and he's asleep in his house and nobody cares. And that's a way to live. It is. It's a good way to live. Anyway,
I'd
really
be the
need to
one
shut
guy
up now, Dave. Come on.
What? Who needs to shut up? Me?
I need to shut up.
Oh, okay.
No, me.
Well,
no, I would never
well,
tell you to shut up on your own show, Dave.
I was going to jump in. I was going to jump in and cut you off like I do on my own show. And I was going to say I was thinking about something you said earlier. I'd be the one guy because now I don't have a driver's license, so I couldn't drive the driver mowers on the road between the houses. I'd have to call all my neighbors and tell them, put your car in the garage or put it in the street because I can drive over your driveway, mow your grass, and then go over the next guy's driveway and mow the grass. And I'd probably enjoy mowing everybody's grass because if I won that lottery thing, I'd have to have like 100, I don't know, like a football field size grass field just to be able to go out and drive that tractor mower to go out and drive and mow every day.
Well, you don't need a driver's license for that, Dave.
No, because
no, that's not. I don't know. I don't think you do in Florida, but I can tell you this: I have watched many of people get on like the mower you have, Nick, the Cub Cadet. I watch this one guy all the time going to the gas station, and I see him coming back, and he's got
they don't usually bother you.
There was a guy in the local paper who had like 3 DUIs, so he decided to, after he ran out of beer at home, so he got on his mower to drive to the freaking store, and they caught him not on the road, like on the side of the road around here. We got like a lot of grass and stuff. He was on the side of the road. He wasn't mowing anything, just going to the store to get him more beer, and they got him.
Yeah,
we had a girl. And this is all these local papers that they throw in your front yard or something. And you go buy for 50 cents or something like that. She was riding a horse drunk and got arrested for drunk horseback riding. In my lifetime, I've never heard of that. That is the most. There's no keys. There's no nothing. How the hell is that? That's bullshit. If you're on a mower and you're just riding on the side of the road, way off the road. Because all the roads, even the ones going into town, they're like the road don't have no apron on it, so it feels smaller. But there's huge swaths of grass on both sides of it. If you're riding a mower to go get beer, more power to you.
Yeah, we have
that's genius. I don't know.
Yeah, where I live, I live in a small town. You know the song. But you never know what you're going to see. So we have people on their, hover around scooters going to the liquor store, crossing the highway, going to the liquor store, and coming back with a, beer can wrapped in, brown paper bag. And nobody messes with it.
And some of them are crazy.
Oh yeah, they're crazy.
We
They're already
They're
batshit
nuts.
crazy.
We were
but
coming-
yeah.
we were coming out of the.
We had a guy who literally stole the one from Walmart because Walmart in our town now has a liquor store. Okay, so he went in, and when they caught him before he got out of the parking lot because for some reason there was already a cop there. Every once in a while, he patrolled through there because we had a problem with people breaking into cars there. I guess that's why they were doing it. But anyway, they caught the guy. He was drunk off his ass on the Walmart scooter. And all he had on him was like 12 bottles of liquor or something. And it was just
That's
fucking
all?
hilarious. And I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, like, the guy stole the car, what is it, the Little Rascal thing from the Walmart out because they keep him out front. And I'm like, this is a guy that does a lot of thinking. And he could be a politician because none of it's good. I'm like, you know. And then he gets caught drunk driving and he had a bunch of liquor on him. I'm like, you're going to court and nothing good's going to happen to you.
See, that's the kind of caper I couldn't pull off. That's the kind of caper I couldn't pull off.
They're probably GPS tracked as soon as you pull out of the Walmart parking lot, too.
Yeah.
You know,
that's kind of caper I couldn't pull off. You know, our Walmart has one aisle, the checkout aisle, that has the alcohol on it.
Yeah,
it's the only place you can buy alcohol. But the scooter carts are on the inside the front door. But Jerry, you remember the story, right? My narrow ass couldn't get that thing to work because it's pressure.
You got to be
it's weight sensor.
Yeah.
So I'm helping this old man.
Don't feel too bad, Nick.
You know, I'm helping this old man. I help him. He gets back to his vehicle. I unload his groceries for him, and I said, "I'll take this back for you," and it ain't going nowhere. And he's like, "Well, you gotta, do this, do that." He had to get back out of his car, and then he sits on it, and it moves.
Yeah.
Well, he was kind of a heavy set man. I'm like, "Oh, it's my narrow ass." Well, the Walmart worker, was standing there watching us, and he's laughing a big black dude, laughing his ass off. It was like, dude, I tried. I helped the old man.
Yeah.
He just needs to go home. My narrow ass can't make what. How derogatory is this?
I wouldn't feel too bad, Nick, because if you ever, I don't know about where you live or anybody else, but in our Walmart particularly, every person I see riding one of those things dresses out at least 400 fucking pounds. They're not they're not actually disabled. They're just too damn fat to walk.
Yeah.
Or it's these knucklehead high school kids who actually are large enough to make it work, and these jackasses.
Oh, we're Walmart shirts.
No. These are Pat, I'd like to solve the problem kind of kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hijack all of the damn carts so the actual disabled people have nothing to ride.
Yeah.
And these jackasses think it's a fucking game.
Yeah. My
and
doctor,
I want to go and bitch slap every single one of them, saying, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Amen. Yeah.
My doctor has said, "Don't start using them because if I do, then I'll become dependent on them. Just keep walking as long as you can keep walking." And
yeah, that's my theory.
Although today the guy riding one,
there are days my fucking knees don't want to do what they're supposed to do, and my wife one time actually brought up that fact. This was like 5-6 years ago or something like that, and I just looked at her like she was completely insane. It took me 10 years before I would get a handicap thing for my truck. Because I couldn't, but walking 40 miles from the back 40 to the store was starting to be a bit much. And it was hard for her, so I went and got one.
Yeah.
And I park
But then
in them now, and now I'm pissed off with these assholes who park there. Yeah, because there's usually at least one asshole parked sideways and because his wife is in there and he doesn't want her to walk that far. Yet he has no down here. You can either get it on your license plate or I got one of them hanger things for the rearview mirror. Yeah. And you just look at him and you like this one guy, I think he was from Connecticut. He comes, oh, we didn't know. I said, bullshit, you didn't know that the law is the same in Connecticut as it is here. Get the fuck out of here.
Blue, yellow lines, you don't.
The ticket is more in Connecticut. It's $500. I've been looking at Walmart down here. It's $250.
Really?
Yeah. But what bothers me more?
Never catch him.
What bothers me more?
Like he said too. The yellow lines around all this crap, people are always parking into.
The blue lines, that's handicap.
Okay.
Right. But what bothers me more is, we'll be out, every handicap space will be taken, and there's somebody sitting in one car with the handicap thing, waiting for somebody to come out of the store. And the person that comes out of the store is walking without any problem because the handicapped person drove them there. I wanted to go up to those people and say, hey, and wait for the people, go to the back 40 and wait for them to call you and tell you that they're coming out because my legs hurt today.
That's what I used to do.
And,
that's what I used to do. That's exactly
Donna's legs would be hurting.
I'd go all the way to the back of the parking lot. If you're lucky, there's a tree you can sit under or something. Back then I had air conditioning. I just do that.
Yeah.
And then I would keep watching the door. You're going to recognize your wife, as she comes out. And then she knows you're back there. So she knows to stay there. You just go up, bam, and you're done.
Yeah.
I always thought that my whole idea about the handicap spot was there are people way worse off than me. I mean, people can get a fucking handicap thing if they lose a finger. They don't have any business having that. Okay, but I always figured it was people older or, even people my age at the time that were way worse than me. And I'm not going to take up a spot that they could use. I would just rather walk or like you said, go to the back 40 and do that, which works fine. As long as you pay attention. And if not, your wife walks all the way down to where you're at and bangs on the window really, really loud. And then and she's sweating, which is never good. And that only happened once, though. And I don't, which is nice. But I don't like people who take advantage of crap like that.
I don't understand. And I've never sat with my wife to try to understand. This not working right has never felt like a handicap that says you get a handicap parking space. Like you were saying, someone who's got bad legs or whatever, they need it.
I don't know.
They need it more than I do.
If you couldn't walk, they've opened it up because it used to be if you had trouble walking at all, you were eligible.
Right.
Everything else, like you lost an arm and you could drive, but my thing always was, well, if you have trouble walking, why is it okay to get a driver's license? That always bugged me.
Right.
Now that I'm at that point, just driving to Walmart hurts. But now that I'm at that point, I kind of understand it, I guess. But they let too many different people get, the placard or the damn license plate that have no business having it. Yeah. And that pisses me off because there are people out there that actually need to be, closer to the door. And I'm I don't know. I've actually been known to park away when I see a guy in front of me that's older than me. And I'll park further away. And then I watch the son of a bitch get out of his car and walk better than I do. That just And he's got a thing, he's perfectly legal to do, but it's like that just pisses me off because I get out of my truck from here to the Walmart and I'm limping.
Yeah.
And some of these people, I don't understand what the hell's wrong with them. Now, you would look perfectly healthy, but then if it's legal, then
Well,
fine.
sometimes it's the 20 steps that you have to take to be able to
listen.
To get it,
I'm good
and
with
sometimes
the legal
that
people.
walking is a thing. But go ahead.
I get the legal people who get it. That's fine. It's the ones that just are too fucking lazy. They'll park on the yellow lines or park half in a parking handicap spot and half out just because I'm just going inside for a minute. And I swear it's the only time I pray for a cop to show up. Just do something, please.
That never happens
to these people.
It happens when well, it happens when you least expect it. Because I was staying with my mom.
Yeah, when I'm not there to watch it and enjoy it and laugh at the guys.
All right.
I was staying with my mom.
And clap like a seal.
Well, I was staying with my mom in Massachusetts one time, and my legs were hurting so bad that time, this was before I even got diagnosed with what I got, but my legs were hurting so bad one day that I just took it and I put it on. And when I came out, the police officer who knew me from seeing me around town visiting my mom said to me, "Is that your car?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, well, he showed me there was an accident and he was writing a report, but he said, pull over there and wait for a second." So I did. And he said to me, "I know that that's not your handicap permit, so just be sure that you're not using it when you're not supposed to." He didn't care because he was there writing an accident report. But they will, a responsible one will nail you if they know that you're not.
If when my wife first got sick, or not sick, but she became disabled, I guess. I don't know, but whatever. It was like 5 years ago, and we used to just use hers. And that's illegal in Florida, apparently.
Mm-hmm. It's illegal everywhere.
Even though we had one vehicle. Yeah, we had one vehicle. That was it. And because I had gotten rid of her car because we couldn't pay for it anymore. So, but that's when I went to the VA, and they're not even supposed to do this shit at the VA. And I'm looking at them like, well, I ain't got to tell anybody, but I need this damn thing because I want to get I guess it's $250 or whatever it is. I don't know.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go too.
Gotta go.
Well, gentlemen, it was a pleasure. And
thank you,
I
Dave.
appreciate you guys coming. And tomorrow evening, it's on you.
Yeah.
Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., sometimes a little later, sometimes a little early. I mean, sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later. Somewhere on Rumble, but watch it on Facebook because the picture quality is a lot clearer.
Yeah, weather depending.
Permitting. Yeah, weather permitting. We're like baseball.
weather permitting. But gentlemen, it was fun, and we'll do it again next week. If
I
you
was
guys
a bit
want.
late, Dave, but
whatever you come, whatever. All I'm going to say is that a wise man whose name starts with a G kind of took me aside, slapped me aside in a private chat, and he said, you tell them what time you start, and then you wait for them to come. And if they come, they come. If they don't
build it, they will come.
Right. So they'll come if they want, and they'll leave. They'll leave when they want. My only thing, like I said, was by 9:15 I had to start closing it up because by 9:30 I have to be done so that my wife can sleep, my grandson can sleep, and the Chihuahua doesn't wake up. Chihuahua's asleep.
Okay.
But not much longer if I keep talking this line.
All right. Well,
all right,
gentlemen.
It was fun. All right, guys. Thank you.
Good
care of
show.
yourself.
All right, thank you, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe.
Yes, sir.
All right, parachutes are on, and Nikki Bonsauer
Bonsoir.
and Jerry, always a pleasure. Back whenever we can. Hey, Boogie with the Bull Uncensored is Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern, no later than 9:30. The link will be up most of the time. We'll get the live chat thing fixed tonight. And again, congratulations going out to Jen's oldest son, who I apologize, I don't actually know his name. Completed his certified Cisco network professional, which, as Nikki had said, is even better than being a certified Microsoft engineer. Well, congratulations to him and to Jen's younger son. I think he's the middle of the sons, but I know he's the younger of the son. I'm really looking forward to seeing you complete the project with the Crown Vic, where you're going to take and put a 4-speed manual transmission into a Crown Vic. I just am anxious to see the video when you have the car up and running. Danny Campbell, who's watched more Boogie with the Bull broadcasts than anybody in the history of Boogie with the Bull, including me. I'm back. I'm up to only watching 5 of them. Always a pleasure when you watch Danny, and Nikki was in the live chat, and all the Facebook users, Eric Leon Barton, Larry from Canada. I'll get that fixed. Like I said, from time to time, Facebook cuts the StreamYard links to a profile page or a group just for fun to make sure you go in and reset them. So I will get that taken care of. And like I said, Wednesday evening, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern, the American Rebellion. So join all of us over there. And part of the program where I say you watched Boogie with the Bull Uncensored, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. We own everything, so I'm not going to tell you all of that. Equal airtime is given to responsible parties with opposing views. Means if you see something in the live chat you didn't like, you're welcome to come onto a broadcast and discuss it, and hopefully we resolve it. And if we don't, well, we did our best. Double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is coming to an end. We'll kick up here. Double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is going to come to an end, and I doubt we'll be able to say it a third time because we haven't been able to, but I'll try it one